All right, we're going to turn back now to the classroom. This past spring, Kewanee High School began a brand new automotive course. And now this fall, they have a whole bunch of new equipment for it, giving students hands-on, real-world experience in an industry that's looking for more workers. So joining us now is Dave Armstrong, the instructor of this automotive course in Kewanee. Dave, thank you so much for being here today. I know school is just kind of getting back in the swing of things, but today, what did you guys work on in class?
We worked on some electrical problems and then some detailing. One of my lower level classes, my beginning class, we do detailing and oil changes, which is kind of to gear them for maybe getting into the automotive industry.
So by the time a student completes this course, what are some of the things they will know how to do?
Um, it's 2.5 years, and it's kind of geared to give them all of the basic knowledge that they would get in college. So we cover everything from tearing apart engines and transmissions to, the absolute basics like washing cars and oil changes and tires. So we cover, I hope, a pretty broad range of things.
Hmm. I gotta ask you though, what kind of experience and knowledge are these kids typically coming in with? Do you get a lot of kids that you know how to do stuff on a car?
Um, Being in a rural community, we have a few students, or I've got a few students that have helped their dads on the farm or whatever, so they do have some mechanical knowledge. But as far as automotive, we don't have a whole lot. No.
Yeah, what kind of challenges or opportunities does that present you as a course instructor, kind of starting from the basics?
Um, it's nice to teach the kids from the beginning so that you can see that growth in the students. And so that, to me, it's also a challenge because some of the simple things that I don't think about, that I've done over and over and over and over, they have no idea.
Because let's talk about you for a second, Dave. Were you originally a teacher or how did you get into this position?
No, I was not a teacher. I started as a mechanic, and I um, was going to work on some of the school vehicles. I owned a business here in Kewanee and was going to work on some of the school vehicles. And our superintendent, which has a crazy vision for career and technology, I went in for an interview and she said she just wasn't going to hire me to work on school vehicles. She wanted me to be a teacher. And so that's kind of how it started.
Hmm. So let's look at the big picture here. What is it the benefit to the students that go through this course to have a class like this available to them in high school?
There are several benefits, I think, to the students. One is the obvious: should be able to save a little bit of money working on their own vehicles. But we've been lucky to partner with Ford, and so they can get some certifications, and we're starting to develop a pathway so that they can hopefully step right out of high school and go to work at some of the local dealerships.
Wow.
So to get a job right out of high school, I think would be the biggest benefit.
And that brings us to my next question is, what about the larger community? How does a course like this impact, I mean, not just Kewanee, but Kewanee and the whole surrounding area?
Well, like you said in the beginning, there have been a lot of shops that I've talked to, and even when I had my own, we just couldn't find good candidates to employ. So I'm hoping that maybe from this side I can help fix that for the whole area,
Hmm.
at least a little bit.
Is there any way for you to put that into context for us? I mean, really, how badly are young mechanics and technicians needed right now?
Um, so when I talked to the owner of Gustafson Ford here in Kewanee, he said I think he was going 3 hours away, and going to trade shows and stuff, different high schools, and looking to try to bring people to Kewanee. So if you think, he was going up into the Chicagoland area trying to get people to come down here and work. I mean, we really do need in this area.
So badly. All right, before I let you go, last question. Where do you see this program going to in the future? Where do you see this growing?
There's no limit to it, I don't think. You know, this year we've partnered with Blackhawk College so that students are getting some dual credit. I'd like to partner with just about anybody we could and get the kids as much training as possible. I don't see any limit to it.
That's awesome. Dave, thank you so much for your time today. We'll have to check back in a few years and see exactly where this program has grown to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shelby. Have a great day.
You too. If you guys at home want to share this story, we have our online version up at WQAD.com. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab at the top of the homepage.